This is the Fortean Slip with your host, Chris York.
But he can smell the Loveland Frogman.
It's a Mothman festival.
Oh, Mothman, whatever the fuck it is, I don't give a shit.
Co-host, Steve Alcorn.
I'm lazy, and I don't do YouTube videos anymore, but I still get money from YouTube on occasion.
And sometimes special guest, Matt Knapp.
Maybe I could go down in history as the first eyewitness of a moth woman.
I think you should endeavor to do that.
Taking down all things strange since 2013.
But my reservation.
What would Jesus do, Steve? What would Jesus do?
In Chris's world, that's called a good day, Steve. Oh, Steve, you're a damn fine investigator.
I don't know much about that subject. But what subject do I know about?
Which means he can hear it on a quiet day. That's kind of like one of your cryptid sightings, Steve. Asshole lives matter, Steve. What's the Mothman's name?
Actual name?
Fred Dryer.
That's not the Mothman's name.
Dude, you would be hard-pressed to get me to attend a Bigfoot conference if it was like a block away from me.
I was gonna say if it was in Tulsa.
Wolfman Jack was on the air.
I'm the Wolfman.
Another astro.
Every time I do any sort of impression, he has to trump me.
You're about to witness the strength of creep knowledge.
Get in, pussies! We're gonna make America great again. This is the Fortean Slip. What episode is this, Steve? I always forget.
110, I think?
I think you're correct. Episode 110. That's what I'm gonna go with.
I think I'm feeling the burn, Chris.
You feeling the burn?
Yeah, I've seen a doctor about it, though.
Ooh.
Is that good? Did I do good?
Ooh. I'll give you that one.
This is not a political show. The last time we tried to do politics, yeah, that didn't work out so well.
Well, it's fucking huge right now. I mean, it's the political climate in this country is absolutely asinine right now.
I still stick by my fuck them all, I ain't voting for any of them stance this year.
And that's perfectly fine. You have that ability to do that. You live in America.
Yep.
You can choose to either go vote or not vote. You're right. So
Principles and morals,
enjoy that.
Chris,
Enjoy that. This is the I don't even know what to call this episode. This is a pile.
The edge of reality.
A pile of horseshit. That's what it is. It's a pile.
I like the edge of reality.
Steaming horseshit. Steve gets in touch with me the other day. This is how all of these episodes start. Like either I get in touch with Steve, or Steve gets in touch with me, or Matt gets in touch with me, or whatever. And that's how all of these stories start. So I should just fucking stop that shit right now. It sounds kind of redundant every time we have an episode. Yeah, so Steve got in touch with me, and we had a little conversation. I tickled his balls a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He rubbed my back gently.
Figuratively speaking.
No, he's like, hey, have you checked into this flat Earth theory? And being a rational human being that understands science, I went, no. Why would I?
It's big news. Big stuff right now.
But I guess Steve says it's a hot topic, so
it is.
I'm willing to go down this little rabbit hole. Because the Earth is on the back of a ceramic turtle, and it's gonna fucking walk through Steve's house.
And that turtle is on the back of an elephant, I've been told. A big giant one. And the elephant's on the back of another elephant, and so on and so forth.
Hey, I know nothing about this. You've done all kinds of research, so I guess you're gonna kind of school me on the flat Earth theory. It's kind of like the flat ass theory, except that flat asses actually exist.
I know. I'm sitting on one right now. Ba-dum-bum.
You're just fucking full of them tonight.
Well, I'll have to tell you a little bit of story first. My girlfriend's sister, for some odd reason, at Christmas time, because we had the Christmas party here this year for her family, goes to smack my ass and misses because it's not there. It's flat. I got a flat ass. And then she chuckles about it, and we move on.
And we all had laughs. We ate noodle salad. It was good times.
Now, yeah. So anyway, the flat Earth. I'd been seeing it. You know, you go to YouTube and shit, and because of the videos that you and I watch, different types of topics pop up, and I kept seeing the fucking flat Earth theory pop up. And of course, like you, I said, "What the fuck?" And I don't know. I've been seeing it for what, a year now, pop up on the YouTube, and I just didn't even want to touch that fucking subject.
It popped up on the YouTube.
Finally, I clicked on a video called "Under the Dome," and I want to say the guy's name is.
Do you believe in that there flat Earth theory?
I want to say the guy's name is Mark Richards or Roberts. I can't even remember, but his YouTube channel is gone. It's out of my view right now. It went away. But it's Under the Dome on YouTube, and it's a flat Earth video. So this guy, right, he believes that the Earth is flat and that we all live in this dome. And that's it. That's what he believes.
That's fascinating.
End of the show.
We're like a big terrarium.
Well, I would say more like a snow globe.
We live in a fucking snow globe. That's awesome. I love that.
Pretty much. I think that's the best I can compare it to. Obviously, you can't see the dome. Now, not all. I want to preface this by saying not all flat earthers believe the same way. Some of them believe that we live on a plane and it's just eternal. It just goes on forever. But you can't go. You can only go so far on the plane because then it turns into Antarctica.
Because then it's a round sphere and you come around on the other side.
It's not like Pac-Man, Chris. It's not how that works. Although that would be pretty fucking cool, right? You leave California and you end up in, well, where would you end up?
No, Steve. It's just because the fucking Earth is actually round.
Well, what they say is it's like a dinner plate, you know, round and flat like a dinner plate. And at the edges, all the way around the edge, is this.
There's little
Antarctica.
Flowers or designs.
You got to take this seriously, Chris. I did. I spent 20 hours.
There's a raised ridge with like some curly cues.
I spent over 20 hours this week and last week listening to different podcasts, viewing different YouTube videos, and doing some other research on the internet about this. So it's actually very serious stuff. And if you didn't have any grasp on science at all,
so is the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
You might actually believe some of this stuff. Now, do I think the big guys in this, one of the guys is named Eric Dubay. He's one of the big ones. Do I believe that he or any of these other guys that are at the top of this flat earth theory believe any of this shit? Fuck no. Do I believe some of their followers believe it? Yeah, absolutely. But the theories are, if you look at the UN flag, it's basically the map of the flat earth. And you can look up that map on Wikipedia, and it was invented in the 1700s or 1800s or 1500s or some way back time by some dude. Anyway, but the U.S. Geological Survey uses it, and the airlines use this map for airline routes and shit. So they argue that point that this map is the right one, because why would they use it if it wasn't? Right? But it shows Antarctica all the way around the outside of the dinner plate, outside of the, so you can't go past that because it's all ice. And then nobody's ever been to the dome because, Antarctica is guarded by the government. All of them. All the governments.
Nobody's ever gotten to the end of the Truman Show.
Well, basically, that's the idea, just on a bigger level, the Truman Show idea. Although I've never seen the Truman Show, I've got a good understanding what it's about. So basically, that's the idea. But if you really, really, really dig down deep into this, the theory of the flat Earth really isn't a flat Earth theory at all. And now this is all opinion, of course. But it always comes back, and every guy I listen to, every fucking YouTube video, every podcast I listen to, it always comes down to, well, somebody had to put that there. Make the Earth flat and, put the dome there if that's what they believe. So it's a religious fucking belief is all it is. That's it. That's the whole idea behind this fucking flat Earth shit.
So we're like a science experiment. We're sea monkeys, Steve.
Well, a lot of these guys try to, I don't know how you say it, but believe, I guess, that this makes proof that there is a God or a godlike being out there protecting us and watching over us. And the dome is there for our safety, of course.
It's the way that's the way they always do it, Steve. We're doing this for your safety. And they just systematically strip away your rights one by one. Oh, it's all in the name of your safety. Here, stand here, put your arms up, let this machine scan you, take your fucking shoes off, let's swab your laptop. Yeah.
Now, some of the arguments for the flat. Well, here, going back to the dome for a second, and let's say God put it there, or aliens put it there, or whatever. But I'm going to go with the God theory. God put that fucking dome there, right? In my opinion, now what they're saying is this proves that there's a benevolent, I guess is the word, God out there who takes care of us all, and we're just his children, and all this bullshit. To me, that makes him a pretty big fucking asshole.
We're the Sims. Wouldn't
that make
the dome is just so that he can watch, right?
Well, wouldn't that make him an ass?
I don't fucking know what it makes him. I sit around and play fucking simulation games all the time. Does that make me an ass?
All right. What if you're the god of that Earth, and you put the dome there? Huh?
I don't have that game, Steve.
I'm just saying.
I don't have the Under the Dome people game. Create an Earth.
No, in your simulation, what if those are real people that you're simulating? They're not really simulations. You're controlling real people's lives, and you're the god of that world or that universe or that reality.
Then I'm an utter failure.
And you're an asshole because you're not letting those people free. See, the God that I believed in when I was growing up.
There's not a button to let them free on the game, Steve. I can't just go, here, be free, sentient beings.
Maybe you haven't discovered the sentient being button yet.
Oh.
It's that...
It's a secret code. They're going to put it out in some fucking magazine.
Left, right, X, Y, Z, X, Y, left, right, left, right,
down.
left, right. I think it is.
Up, down, left, right, BA start.
Something like that.
If you get that reference, you can be my friend.
I know it's a video game reference, and I've probably done it before, but I can't remember what game it's for. Anyway, so I think what it really does, if there is a God in the universe, and I don't know that for a fact, and nobody really knows it for a fact, no matter what you claim, I think I've just lost my train of thought. No, I think it actually minimalizes him. It minimalizes what us as human beings are if we're actually just, basically people in a zoo for God's pleasure or whatever it is. And it minimalizes what God is, right?
Sure.
If there is a God. If you put, and this, because in the flat earth theory, the earth is the center of the universe. The moon, the stars, everything rotates around the earth, obviously, because that's what they believed in ancient times.
Well, I was just checking out a video recently about paradoxes, and there's an interesting paradox about God, and that is if God is this all-powerful all-seeing, omniscient being, then God should be able to create something that can destroy himself. But yet, then he wouldn't be all-powerful. So,
right. I've thought about that often.
So all kinds of things beg the question of the fallibility of God. I don't know the answers to any of those questions. I'm very troubled about spirituality and a quote-unquote deity. I don't know. I mean, I believe in something, but I don't know. It's all very questionable.
But you don't believe in a God who put a dome over your world so that you no matter what, you could never escape it, Because in the flat earth theory, the dome, and there's not necessarily a dome, but there is no moon, there is no stars. Some people believe they're projections on a screen, and the dome is a screen, or that we faked everything in NASA's fake. Oh, by the way, if you cannot be a flat earther unless you believe, number one, NASA, since its founding in the 50s, has never told the truth once about anything. You got to believe that. You got to believe that all the astronomers over the years are wrong, because there is no such thing as space or satellites or the moon, the stars, the sun. It's all made by this God, but it's there, but it's not there. You can't go to those places.
It's all bullshit, Steve.
Right. You can't go to those places. You got to believe they've lied to you. You've got to believe that every government in the world has lied to you. Now, do they lie? Abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, we all know that. Do they all get together and lie about the same thing? Ain't no fucking way. You've got to believe that you're not allowed to go to Antarctica at all. You're not allowed. No person is allowed in Antarctica unless you're there with government permission. Now, there's this thing called the Antarctic Treaty, and a bunch of governments around the world got together. Nobody owns Antarctica. There's some countries that own small parts of Antarctica, but the continent as a whole is owned by these treaty signers, right? Everybody owns it. And it's there in that way because it's such a rich area for scientific research, basically. So nobody owns it. And according to the flat earth theory, you can't even go there without getting either shot or turned away and asked to leave, which is 100% bullshit. I mean, you can look it up on the internet. You can get a fucking cruise to Antarctica. Now, if you bring that up with a flat earther, man, my throat is dry tonight. If you bring that up with a flat earther, they'll say, yeah, but you can only go to the outer islands or see the penguins on the coast and all this bullshit. Well, that's not exactly true. Because you can look up Antarctic expedition and see these people on their own, by the way. There's been two guys. One guy actually died doing it last year, I believe, 2015. And another guy on his own, by himself, no support, walked all the way across the fucking continent. Now, if that's possible, then obviously the world doesn't end there, right?
Sure,
if you walk from one side to the other... I'm just saying.
I'm flip-flopping back and forth. I was a flat earther like 2 minutes ago.
Well, the thing is, you're never going to be a flat earther because you're right. You have a little bit of common sense. Now, these guys make some...
I've seen images of Earth from space.
Yeah. Oh, no, you haven't. Oh. Not according to flat earthers. Oh. Every single, and I'm not joking, every single image from space, no matter who it came from, is fake, according to the flat earthers. It's either Photoshop or done in a studio or, drawn with a fucking crayon. I don't know what they believe, but...
if there's a dome over the planet, it's gotta be ancient aliens.
But you gotta figure how vast the conspiracy would have to be. It would have had to start 2,000 or 3,000 years ago when they first discovered, hey, maybe the Earth is a little bit round. There were some philosophers back then who believed that. Most people still believe the Earth was flat. But by Columbus's time, we knew the Earth was round because that's why he went the way he did. Correct? So.
And then he saw a UFO, Steve.
Well, he did. And that's
It's
another story for another show.
Steve.
But by Columbus's time, it was widely accepted that the Earth was round. Now you got these internet people, people with no degrees in anything, by the way. The one big guy, the Under the Dome guy, he
Stephen King?
is the other Under the Dome guy on YouTube. Leisure X, I think, or something is his name on YouTube. I have to look it up. Maybe I can give it to you, and maybe if you feel like it, you can put it in the description, but you don't have to. Just look up Under the Dome Flat Earth or something on YouTube. You'll find it. And the other guy, Eric Dubé, is his video is 200 proofs that the Earth is flat or something of that nature. I've listened to both of them. I've listened to several other guys too. But now you made me lose my train of thought, Chris.
I'm sorry.
I know.
What would you like me to do?
Oh, I was on Columbus, right? Columbus knew the Earth was round. And even since then, it's not been really in dispute until last year, So you guys are full of shit.
Is it really in dispute, Steve?
I don't know that it's in dispute, but it became popular, I think, around the end of 2014 again. There's been a Flat Earth Society since the 1970s, but it was more of a joke than anything. People, we believe in the Flat Earth, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't much of anything. Nobody really paid much attention to them. They were just a bunch of, I would say pranksters. But in 2014, I believe it was, is there a rapper or a singer, B.O.B., Bob, something like that? You know who I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Anyway, he's some big name. I don't know the fucking guy. But then there's Tia Tequila. You know who that is?
I've heard the name before, Steve.
Okay. Well, these two people, because of their major credibility in the scientific world, came out in support of the flat Earth theory. And ever since then, that's when it kind of took off. So, and now, obviously, before that, there was these guys on the internet doing these stupid flat Earth videos. And so, but these two people got a hold of it, Tia Tequila and the Bob guy. And that's kind of where it started. And Bob, or B.O.B., or whatever he goes by, actually had a Twitter war with, what's that guy's name? Neil
deGrasse Tyson.
Yes, him. Him and this Bob guy had this Twitter war for quite a while. And this Bob guy even put him in the song. It was kind of funny. But that's kind of where it got its popularity and why
Neil
it started getting
deGrasse Tyson
really big.
will school anybody about fucking science. I love that man. He's fucking great. I would have him on this podcast in a minute.
To the flat earthers, he is the fucking devil. He is the ultimate conspirator, basically. And so you have to believe that people like him are are hiding the truth from you. You have to believe that everything NASA does, not when they say they took a shit at NASA, you have to believe that's a lie. You have to believe it goes that fucking deep. You have to believe that how many countries are in the world? 156 or something like that. You have to believe that every one of those fucking countries is lying to you about the same thing.
Even Luxembourg?
Even Luxembourg.
Okay.
Every one of them.
Right. I was just checking, Steve.
Cuba. You got to believe Cuba. Any country with a space. Yeah. And I think there's like 50 countries now with space programs. You have to believe that they're all lying to you. Now, my thing is, why? Why would they spend bazillions of dollars every year pretending to go to space just to hide the fact that the Earth is round or flat or whatever it is? You could accomplish that without ever saying a word about space, because if you wanted to hide that, wouldn't you just stay on the fucking ground? You know?
I don't get any of it. I really don't.
Right. And I don't,
Like
you'd have to believe that.
I can't. I have a rational, sane fucking mind. Sorry, I can't imagine that the world is a fucking dinner plate.
Well, I get the ideas and I get some of their arguments, but they're shallow, and they'll sprinkle a few facts in with a bunch of bullshit. And it's like any other conspiracy theory. Every fucking one of them's the same way. Sprinkle a couple facts in there that sound kind of right, and you can just build off that. And if you tell a convincing enough story to the general population who doesn't do their research and doesn't really give a fuck, then a lot of people are gonna buy it. You know, the general population.
Well, this isn't even one of those. This isn't even one of those things where it catches me for a minute. Like, it doesn't even catch me for a second. The Earth is flat. Is it? Is it really?
And most people's reactions to that comment is either they break out laughing, the Earth is flat, or they get angry that somebody actually believes the Earth is. I mean, I've encountered people who got angry.
The Earth wasn't that great big round fat person.
But I'm just saying, for some reason, it really brings out the emotions in people. If you go to the YouTube videos and read some of the comments, holy fuck, and I've seen some bad shit on the internet. We both have, but some of those fucking comments on those flat Earth videos, holy fuck, these people are passionate about their position, whether they believe it's right or wrong. I don't know what they actually believe. I'm convinced almost 100% that the people at the top, the people who are pushing this, are bullshit artists, and they know they're bullshit artists. The people that are under them, the people who are following them, they're not. I think they really buy into some of this shit. They won't do their research, and then when they do their research, I mean, you can do any kind of research you want and make the results be what you want, but that's not fucking science.
It's all it's very cultish is what it is. The problem with all of this is it's very cultish. It's like Scientology. Right. It's like any other type of cult. People buy into it. They believe it. People peddle bullshit and just string them along. And in these communities, it's not so much about, gaining followers to create a religion. It's more about selling books or ideas or YouTube videos or documentaries or whatever the fuck these people are trying to put out. But it's just peddling bullshit. And
knowingly doing it.
Yeah, and you and I both know it. We both understand that that's the way a lot of this works. You've got tons of people in these communities, not just flat earthers. You've got fucking people in the UFO communities that do it, people in the Bigfoot communities that do it, people in the ghost communities that do it, the paranormal, whatever the fuck you want to call it, cryptozoological, Fortean, supernatural. There's a ton of bullshit peddling that just perpetuates everything. But this is one of those things where it doesn't even grab me for a second. Like John Teeter, obviously, we go back to this guy all the time. Total bullshit. But I fucking, for 2 minutes, I was like, wow, wait a minute, is time travel real? Like, but with the flat Earth, with the fucking flat Earth theory, I don't even go, wait a minute, is the Earth really a dinner plate?
The problem with the flat Earth theory is, if there was any validity to it at all, if there was even one argument that couldn't be debunked in 30 seconds or less, then, maybe they would have some points. But I'll give you an example, Chris. All the flat earthers say, because the way the flat Earth is laid out, Australia's far away from South America. Or South Africa. On the globular map, the one that we're used to, the globe, they're not that far from each other. They're about 12 hours. So they say that you cannot book a flight from Australia to South Africa. Well, it took me a non-stop flight. You have to go up through the UK and over to the United States, or you have to go all over the fucking place. Well, there's reasons for that. But their contention is that you cannot book a non-stop flight from Australia to South Africa or vice versa. Well, it took me 30 seconds to find a non-stop flight. And now what they'll tell you is, well, that's not a real flight. Try to get on that flight. Well, I'm not going to pay $1,900 to get on a fucking flight just to prove my point, right? And they know that. So they can use that argument. Well, how do you know that flight ever took off, or how do that kind of thing. And there's less GPS coverage on the southern hemisphere, just the way the satellites are in the, space. And where they're, because 90% of the people in the world live in the northern hemisphere, right? So they can show you these flight maps that go over the Indian Ocean or the South Pacific or whatever, and there's not a lot of flights going there. So they say that's proof that our theory is right. Well, it's not right. And there are flights. So my challenge to flat earthers is, now they say that there is no Antarctica, that it goes all the way, well, there is an Antarctica, but there's no South Pole because this thing goes all the way around the Earth. Where do flights to Antarctica originate from? Most of the flights to Antarctica, where do they originate from? Where do you think that is, Chris?
I don't know, Steve.
Well, if Antarctica goes all the way around the world, it shouldn't matter. It should originate from everywhere, right?
Well, flights can come pretty much from anywhere anyway.
Right. I'm talking nonstop flights. If you take a flight to Antarctica, they offer these tourist flights, right? And you can go to Antarctica for like a few days and play with the penguins and sleep in an igloo or something. I don't know. Wait, that's North Pole. That's the Arctic, ain't it? Igloos and Eskimos, Alaska.
March of the Penguins. Will Morgan Freeman narrate my time that I go to the Antarctic?
I don't know. There's a National Geographic special that I really want to watch. And it's all about the Antarctic. But anyway, so I've looked them up. Well, these flights come from Australia, of all places. So if Australia is not in the southern hemisphere, closer to Antarctica, then why do all these tourist flights come from that area? So it's so easy to find the answers to the questions if you just look for the questions and the answers. I mean, it's not that big a deal. So, and it's pretty easy to debunk. I mean, it's quick and easy to debunk, even though they say nobody can. Right?
Oh, and yeah, since you brought them up, the lovely Aussies, I'd like to thank all of you who wouldn't give me until fucking midnight tonight, which is still 20 minutes away as we're recording, to turn fucking 40. All of you wishing me a fucking happy birthday like fucking hours before. Oh, yeah.
So your birthday is tomorrow, Chris?
Well, by the time this thing's out, it'll be now. Probably.
Okay.
By the
well,
time
let me be the
recording.
first to wish you. Oh wait.
Yeah, you missed that. The old Australians, they beat you to it.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't wish anybody on Facebook a happy birthday. I never do it because I'd have to be doing that every fucking day, and then if I forgot somebody, they'd get upset. That kind of thing. So, happy birthday to all of our listeners, whenever that may be. How's that? Did that work?
Sure. That works out great.
That covers me for the whole fucking year. That's for 2016 and 17.
It's a way to cover your ass there, Steve. But yeah,
you'll notice
I
did not say happy birthday.
I wanted to at least take note of that because it was literally a string of them. I don't know if they all got the notification at exactly the same time and they all just happened to be on, but it was bing, 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 bing. I'm like, what the fuck?
How come I don't get any from Australia?
I don't know. I don't know what your fucking problem is, Steve.
I don't think they like me.
You're a likable guy too. That's what people tell me.
Really?
They tell me that I'm unapproachable. I come off like a dick, and you're a really likable guy.
I get that too. It's funny.
So, I mean,
You know, Chris, I just don't, I can't approach Chris, but you seem just such a nice guy.
hey, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Hey.
I know what type of person I am, and anyone who gets to know me
Listen,
knows
you're
what type
totally
of person I am.
approachable.
Yeah, anybody, like, ask Richard Allen. Like, I give him shit all the
Yeah.
time, but I'm completely approachable.
Now, if somebody says the wrong thing to you, then you become a lot less approachable. But, you know,
Well, I'm working on that, Steve.
me, I can just, bring them around to my side, usually.
I'm working on that.
I have a way. I have a way with people. I've come to find out. It's a gift. That's all I'm going to say.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, sir.
Do you pay?
So anyway,
do you pay it forward?
I don't pay it forward. I don't even pay it at all. I am me. That is it.
Oh, are we going back to flat Earth?
Nah, fuck the flat Earth.
I mean, I'm fascinated that there are people that believe in this shit, like that we live under a dome, and that the Earth is a plate, and it's on the back of a turtle, on the back of an elephant, on the back of a
that's
fucking on a
those
ball,
are
fucking running
some
around
of
the
those are more
circus.
ancient beliefs.
I don't know how
my
it works.
My biggest issue with it is it always comes back to some sort of religious aspect, and that's how they explain it, and I mean, they'll quote Genesis and everything because God made the heavens and the earth, and between them he put this firmament type thing with water above and waters below and all that stuff. So that says, they use that as proof, quote unquote, that don't be doing that shit, man.
Listen.
And, it always comes back to
the fucking Hebrew Bible was interpreted. There is no one around today that completely understands Hebrew. And it was translated into so many different translations. Most people know the King James fucking Bible, which King James just fucking took a bunch of people and said, here, translate the fucking Bible.
And then they dropped a bunch of books because it didn't agree with. Well, I don't know. That was a King James, but my biblical history is a little off right now. But
I'm not trying to beat the shit out of that book or anything. But let's face facts. Hebrew is a fucking ancient language. So, like it or love it, that's the fucking facts. That's the way it is.
Yeah, and that's true, but a lot of ancient texts talk about how the earth was made and things like that, and all the Indians had legends and things like that, and so that's where they're drawing some of their proof from. We can't draw proof from stuff that has been proven not to be true, and now we can't say that the Bible's not true. We don't want to offend all of our Christian followers, or we can't say that Quran's not true or whatever, whatever book you decide to believe in.
I want to start a new theory, Steve.
Okay.
That the Earth is a donut.
That wouldn't be a new theory. I think there are people who believe that. Okay.
How about... Now, stay with me, Steve. Stay with me. This one's going to be a little bit harder.
Is it a jelly donut?
Now, listen. This one's going to be a little harder. What if the Earth is a donut hole? Huh? Just round,
you just blew my mind.
Just spherical.
But not spherical, but spherical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of like goes,
donut hole.
and it kind of like goes around the sun in an ellipsis.
That's the theory that they have. How
doesn't
that
that blow your fucking mind?
Yeah, it does.
That's fucking pretty crazy shit, right? And like there's this, and there's this vast galaxy of fucking infinite stars all around us.
Space isn't real.
All around us, Steve. Like it goes on forever. Just imagine that for a second, Steve. It goes on forever. Isn't that fantastical enough?
Yeah, I think it is.
I mean,
I mean, we haven't grasped the full understanding of our own true spherical or globular or whatever you want to call it, Earth yet. And now we want to put theories out there that it's totally different than we've been told. And with basic common sense and a little bit of investigation, you can find out, well, that's not true. So I'm going to, and I told you before the show, and I said I didn't know if I was going to mention it or not, but I'm going to put the theory to the test. I live 26 miles from Canada and across a body of water, and I'm going to see if I can see Canada from here. You know, because if the Earth is flat, I should be able, with a good camera, to see Canada from here, correct?
you are correct, sir.
Okay, so the flat Earth theorists say that water doesn't curve. It will not curve, and that's how one of their proofs that the Earth is flat. So, if that is the case, and that is the truth, I will set up a tripod down across this body of water over here that's, within a walking distance from my home on a nice sunny day. And then I'll do it on a little bit of an overcast day too to see if the results are different.
That's some.
And I will see if I can zoom in on Canada.
Steve.
And if I can zoom in on Canada with no obstruction by the curvature of the Earth, and I mean I should be able to see people walking on the street over there, because the Earth is flat and water doesn't curve. So I should be able to see all the way down to street level. So if I can do that, then I will become a flat earther.
You're going to be all in?
If I can see Canada clearly, when I say clearly,
Steve,
I'm sure there'll be some haze.
What I really want to know is if you see Canada, will you be balls deep in the
I will be
flat earth theory?
I will be at the forefront of the flat earth, whatever it is. Movement. That's the word I was looking for. Took me a while.
Will you be a changed man?
I will be. And
by that,
I will believe.
I mean a sex changed man.
Well, no, not a sex changed man.
No, seriously.
I will be.
If you see Canada across, was it Lake Erie?
Well, it's a body of water. Yes, I don't want to give away my location. Chris.
You've said you live near fucking Lake Erie from fucking ever now on this show. If you see Canada across Lake Erie, how much of a telephoto lens you putting on this bitch?
Well, you shouldn't need much because the Earth is flat, and there's tall buildings over there. I don't remember exactly what's across. I can find out. Exactly what's across the lake, but I think it's not Toronto, but I'll find out.
I think that if you see Canada across Lake Erie, you should get a sex change.
I don't agree with that.
And be a flat earther.
I don't agree with that, but London and okay.
Well, I mean everything would be turned upside down for you anyway, Steve. Up will be down, left will be right, balls will be a vagina.
I don't want balls to be a vagina. Okay, so I live here, and I'm going to go right across Lake Erie, and I say 26 miles. It's between 20 and 30 miles, somewhere in that range. And my computer froze up.
That's not my problem.
No, but maybe it was just my mouse again. My mouse keeps quitting on me tonight. Across the lake directly from me is not working because it won't. I don't know how to use my mouse pad.
It's not going to tell you.
I don't know how to use this dumb thing. I never use it. Oh, there it is. I got it. Let's see. We've got Big Creek National Wildlife Area, Port Burwell. I don't know what size these towns are because I've never been over there. Port Bruce, Burwell, Vienna, Hemlock, Fairground, Cultus. So if you're from one of these towns in Canada, tell me how big the place is.
Now, what if there's like a big ship in the way, Steve? I've heard the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
It doesn't matter if there's a ship in the way.
Okay.
It shouldn't. Now, I can technically see Canada from my house because, not from my house, but when I go down to the lake, because the Canadian and United States line goes directly through the middle of the lake. So, but that doesn't count. I have to see buildings, and I have to see, like street level.
Who are you to judge if it counts or not, Steve?
I'm to judge because how am I don't know where that's
Then this whole thing is biased. You can just say, well, the data is tainted.
It's not tainted though. It's correct. It's got to be correct.
No, but I'm saying to get out of it.
To get out of it, if what happens if it is real?
I think it'd be hilarious if, like, all of a sudden I log in my computer one morning and you're like, listen, not for nothing, but I'm a flat earther. I'll be like, get the fuck out of here.
See, the big joke around here is because Canada is so close, and if you go over to Erie, which isn't that far from me, and go out on Presque Isle, which is basically a little peninsula, and then go over and look over, you should be able to see Long Point, Ontario, because it's only like 20 miles across the lake. Now, when you get over to my part of the lake, it's, a little bit farther. It might be up to 30 miles. And I don't really know what's across the lake. I've never been there. And I've never been able to see it on the clearest day, even with binoculars. So I'm going to get a good lens on my camera, or even a telescope, perhaps, and see what I can see. And I will become a flat earther if I can see street level in Canada.
That's a bold statement, Steve.
Well, hey, you got to be bold sometimes. And that's from, now let me qualify this a little bit. There's a big bluff. So we have bluffs around here, and some of them can be up to 100 feet high off water level. I have to be down on the beach at water level, because if I get up on the bluff, which is in this case probably 30 feet in the air, then that doesn't count, obviously, because I'm up way higher. I'm elevated. But if I can see across the lake at water level and see street level in Canada, it looks like there's some, little towns over there at least. I should be able to see, I should be able to see in somebody's window over there if I have a strong enough lens. I can peep across the lake into some lady's window.
Of course, that's where you fucking took it.
And there's a nice wildlife area over there I'd like to check out. Maybe I could watch for Bigfoots all the way across.
Steve's gonna be on fucking Amazon pricing out a really nice telescope after this show.
Actually, I have one, but I think it's over at my mother's house, so I'll have to go over there and get it. But I don't even know much about Canada, so it's actually in Ontario. It'd be Ontario, I guess, right across the lake, I think. Randy Filipovic would know. I'll have to ask him.
Just ask Fred.
He lives in Canada and stuff. Or Fred. Yeah, Fred Dunn will know.
He lives not far from there. He lives in Ontario.
Somewhere in this. Yeah, he could live, I could. That's it. That's the key. If I can see Fred Dunn's house from my house.
No, because he lives up.
The earth is
I don't
flat.
think. I think where he lives is closer to New York than you.
So I'll just look that way down the lake.
That way and up a fucking river and.
Right. If the earth is flat, Chris, I should be able to look down that, east or west, north or south.
So what
doesn't matter.
Are the rules now? You have to be able to, with a fucking really awesome lens, take a picture of Fred Dunn at fucking sea level.
I'll have Fred Dunn stand on the lakeshore at, it looks like it's called Big Creek National Wildlife Area, because that is directly across the lake from me. That would be the closest point. I'll have Fred Dunn stand on the lakeshore. We'll coordinate it together, and clip me the bird or something. And if I can take a picture of that, then I'm a flat fucking earther, and so is Fred probably.
At that point, I'm so waiting for that text message. That fucking, hey, listen.
Chris, I'm sorry to say, but
Because
not only could I see...
you'd not only would you like fucking be so like hesitant about it because I'd be like, fuck you.
But I'd have to do it. If I'm making a promise here, and I'm hoping to get this data by, the end of next week.
You're hoping to get a picture
Because
of the
obviously the weather
horizon line of the water sometime next week.
There is no horizon, Chris.
Oh.
According to the flat earth theorists. That's a new term that we're going to flat earth. Can you do that in your best ancient aliens voice? Flat earth theorists.
The flat earth theorist, Steve.
There you go. We got it. I think that's enough. But no, if I can see Canada at all, street level, or at least ground level, if it's, that wildlife area, or in a town, it has to be street levels. So I can see the ground and the lakeshore. You have to be able to see, the water lapping up on the fucking lakeshore across the pond here. Then that's it. That's what I'm going to do.
That's awesome.
I'm going to be a flat earther, and I will be the best damn flat earther there is.
I don't believe you. I think like with everything that you do, you'll be into it for like 2 weeks, and then you'll be like,
it's a small price to pay, Chris.
Wait a minute. Hey, you got any news?
Yes, sir. My mouse quit again. Stupid thing.
Your mouse sucks.
And I know, tonight it does. I never have any issues with that thing, and tonight it just doesn't want to work. So if I fumble over these stories, tonight's blame will be put on the mouse.
Okay.
See that? See what I did there?
Sure.
NBC4i.com from Champion, Ohio. The hunt for Bigfoot has come to Trumbull County. That's not all that far from me, Chris. A 4-foot statue was removed Tuesday from Champion Township Cemetery. The statue was placed next to the grave of Trevor Zuniga, 23 of Bristolville, according to an online tribute. Zuniga died in January of, some complications from muscular dystrophy. Our respects to his family. Trevor's uncle, I said that. I put that in there. You got to be nice. Because it's a funny story, but it's not funny. Trevor's uncle bought the statue because his nephew was fond of the Bigfoot. Oh, now they put myth in here. They don't know that for sure. Trevor's mother, Kathy Zuniga, said she understands that Bigfoot is just a statue, but it brought her comfort. It's something that we know as Trevor. It was something that he really liked. The family knew he liked it, and we all associated it with him. He was somebody who was there, and I could come and talk to, and I could touch him, meaning the Bigfoot statue. He was somebody who was there with Trevor. That's a little creepy. Anyway, the statue was stolen. I'm having troubles, Chris. I didn't pre-read this story and didn't realize it was about a young kid who, was infatuated with Bigfoot, and now it seems that his mother's infatuated with the statue. It's something that I already read that part. Champion Township Sexton Chris Conley said the township contacted the family and asked them to remove this. Oh, it wasn't stolen. They had to remove it while it was still standing there. 3 weeks later, the township moved it and put it behind a utility garage. There were lots of complaints, but it was removed because there wasn't a footer.
Which is more appropriate because it'd be like hiding instead of being out in the cemetery.
Yeah. Oh, I get that. That makes sense. Well, here's the funny part about it. There was a lot of complaints. So they removed it because there wasn't a footer. Get it?
Oh,
footer.
Do you really have to take it there?
No, the news story took it there.
Yeah. You could have left that one out, Steve.
Yeah, I know. The complaints came from a family who has
no,
near the Bigfoot.
No. You're a newsman, Steve.
I'm trying to go on with the story.
You can see at any time. You can cut news stories. You can fucking change them. You fucking keep the facts all situated. I don't want you being a lying sack of shit. Give me this
until I become a flat earther.
Then I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like seriously, like listen, you talk about like being the straw that fucking just like, or the TNT that broke the fucking camel's back at that point, because you have fucking said a lot of shit where I've just been like, what? Huh? The ceramic frog being the best one.
But that's the truth.
You
know me, Chris. You know.
Hey.
I'm the most honest guy you're ever going to meet.
Hey.
If I say it and it comes out of my mouth,
I think you did.
Most of the time, it's the truth.
I think you got slipped LSD. I don't know.
But I had witnesses. I had witnesses to 90% of the things that I say. Not all of them, but 90% of them.
Dude, you're great. But if you became a flat earther, I don't know. I don't know that I could hold on.
Well, anyway, I'm going to finish this story. The complaints came from a family who has a grave near the Bigfoot, and I'm going to paraphrase here. Basically didn't like seeing the ass of the statue facing the grave site of their loved one. So the Zania family offered to make a loincloth to wrap around the statue.
Because Bigfoot's always seen with a loincloth on.
I mean, it's not like Bigfoot's dick was hanging out or anything. It wasn't there. It's a statue. And it's that common, that statue that everybody has. I
know what you're talking about.
Statue. So we got another story from openminds.tv. I like this website. It's pretty cool. Even though it's mostly bullshit. But American Airlines UFO report caught on ham radio. I that's my opinion. I'm allowed to express opinions. A ham radio user caught what appears to be a UFO report near Nephi, Utah. That sounds a little Mormonish to me. While monitoring airline communications between commercial, Nephi is, from the Book of Mormon. While monitoring airline communications between commercial airliners and the control tower. I want to get that on audiobook. That'd be good. The conversation was not recorded,
Book
however.
Of Mormon?
Absolutely.
Oh,
UFO listen, remember I started with...
this could not get any better. Like, I was so expecting after you read Dianetics that you were going to go clear, and then now
I get clear of it all right.
Now you're going to be a flat earther. Where does this fucking rabbit hole end, Steve?
Well, flat earth and Mormonism go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Because it is more of a religious thing.
I can see the text message now. Chris, I'm a flat earther, and I have magic underwear.
I'm a flat earth Mormon Scientologist. That's what it's going to be.
Oh, fuck. The trifecta.
And I knock on doors. So I'd be a Jehovah's Witness too. That'd be fun.
God.
You meet your neighbors that way. I don't know anybody in this town, so that'd be a good way to meet my neighbors, right?
If that happens, Steve, that's the only way you can stay on the show is if I can call you Big Love for the rest of the fucking duration of our broadcasts.
All right, agreed. If I become a flat earth Mormon Scientologist, Jehovah's Witness, you can call me whatever you want.
Okay.
Deal. The conversation was not recorded, however. UFO researchers were able to get a copy of the transmission from the Federal Aviation Administration in response to a Freedom of Information Act request. And my freaking mouse quit working, so I got to pause to get to the next part of the story. Port Daniels.
We need like
paranormal
pause music.
I said Port Daniels. I don't know why I said that, but it's Pat Daniels, a paranormal radio host and ham radio hobbyist, was monitoring airline communications on January 14th.
Of course
around
he
12 a.m. Well, why wouldn't you? And he heard exactly what he was looking for. a UFO report, according to the website UFOs Northwest, Daniels claims. The pilot reported seeing an extremely large, bright object that he estimated to be about a mile wide to his right. The air traffic controller told him that he was looking in the direction of Nephi, Utah. Apparently, the air traffic controller told the pilot that the object was not detected on radar. The object appeared to keep pace with the aircraft. Daniels reported the event to the Utah chapter of the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON for short. The Utah MUFON state director at the time was Erica Lukes, who says her team, with the help of William Puckett from UFOs Northwest, began investigating. First, they were able to determine it was an American Airlines flight, number 434. And anyway, it goes on to say that they found the FOIA request and got it. And here is the transcript. Ready for this, Chris?
I'm ready.
It's good stuff.
I'm ready, Steve.
This is American 434 to the
Wait a minute.
To the tower.
Let me get situated. I don't want to fall out of my chair.
Should I do this like airline speak?
Okay. No.
American 434 tower. American 434.
Are you seriously
Wait,
gonna?
that's like
Are you seriously
Car
gonna do
54.
that?
Where are you? Shit. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never flown an airplane. American 434 to the tower. The tower says, go ahead. American 434 says, you wouldn't happen to know what this bright orange square we are flying over is, would you? The tower says, no. That's a good question. I am not sure. Is it off to your right side? American 434, I'm assuming the pilot, it is directly off our nose right now. It is right below us. We have been watching it for a while now. I don't know what it is. It's a perfect square, and it's bright orange. What town are we next to? This town right off our 2 o'clock. The tower says it's Nephi, Utah. Nephi, okay, cool. Now I will see what I can go find. Thank you. Tower says, you bet. And that is the end of the transmission. So did they see a UFO? I think so. A big square one.
A big square starburst looking UFO.
Well, here's the thing, you don't get a lot of these kinds of reports from pilots, and you'd think they'd kind of know, and that's why I kind of like
It's a UFO, Steve.
And if you're in Tucson, or near Tucson, because I'm not exactly sure where this is, but it's from Tucson.com, you can get some Chupacabra meat. Ooh. I think that's cool. Yes, the owner of Broma, that's a new restaurant, stated to open. It's actually a Mexican word, Broma. I don't know the taqueria. For our Mexican listeners, Taqueuria. I'm just going to say tequila because it sounds better. A new restaurant that's stated to open off Congress Street in May specializes in obscure animal parts destined to please adventurous foodies. The stylish tequila Broma, that's as close as I'm going to get, takes a whole hog approach to a small plates menu by serving the feet, stomach, and ears of various animals along with organic micro vegetables.
Organic?
Did
you just say organic?
I may have. What's a micro vegetable? It's organic, but I may have misspoke.
Okay.
But I don't know what a micro vegetable is. Is it like a really super tiny vegetable?
A small vegetable, maybe, Steve. I'm just
big vegetables.
I'm just guessing.
Anyhow, the real draw
Listen,
is their
Steve,
secret menu.
Micro machines were small cars.
Right. No. I understand the micro part, but how micro? Because you would think,
Steve,
really tiny.
Microprocessors. Really small.
And they're tiny.
Really small, Steve.
Yeah, so micro vegetables, why would you even want that?
Right. Maybe
I'm hungry.
Maybe you've got to feed micro people.
On average, Mexicans are a little shorter than the average.
Wait a minute, are you being
Americans.
are you being stereotypical?
I said on average. I did not say, yeah, all these Mexicans, them short people. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said on average,
All right.
Mexicans
I
tend
just
to
wanna
be
make sure we're not.
shorter.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to.
I'm not.
You already fucked up every Mexican word or pronunciation.
It's tequila. It's tequila. I think it is. Tequila Broma is the restaurant name. Anyway.
Yeah.
They have a secret menu, Chris.
I'll bet you it's not. How about that?
Our Mexican listeners will correct me, I'm sure.
How about if you're wrong?
Because we have a lot of them.
How about if you're wrong with the pronunciation of that? Fuck your picture across your lake. You have to become a flat earther.
No. No.
All right.
Because
All right.
that's not a good.
All right.
That's not a good bet for me.
Continue.
The real draw is their secret menu. Secret. They call it Macho Gabacho, in which the owner, Colton Shadler, plans to serve Chupacabra meat. It's all about serving the community, he said. We take a hardworking, do-it-yourself approach and love really great food to create something completely original.
We take some roadkill. We throw it in a fucking crock pot.
Shadler has brought on Chef Vinny Helsing of Count Tacola and Bloodsmith fame. I must be good restaurants or something. To craft the menu, it's full of retooled Mexican finger foods. Must be serving fingers too. Fermented in substantial Russian draft houses. In the evenings, the tequila will convert into a garden bar with local music and craft beer, and lots of Chupacabra meat. Shadler says it's been hard finding a reliable source of Chupacabra meat, and that he's looking to bring a professional demon forager from Sweden to capture them in the wild. I think something shady's going on there, Chris. Just a hunch. I don't.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. I'm not even gonna get.
You can find them on Kickstarter.
No. I'm not even gonna. No.
I don't want to eat at that place. I've seen chupacabras.
I'm gonna get a fucking demon hunter.
That's what it says. Demon forager.
Forager
from Sweden. Yes, he forages for demons.
From Sweden.
Yes, he says this guy is really good. He's made a living by reaching out to the meadow elf community.
The Swedish fucking demon hunter. Orski Borsk.
John Coping, yeah, that's where the guy's from. He was instrumental in starting out the village's first spiked milk bar. He'd seriously kill it down here. That's what he says. So yes, a demon forager from Sweden that talks to elves. I think something's fishy going on there.
Yeah.
It's just a hunch.
Uh-huh.
But that's the news, Chris.
That's
such as it is.
That's fucking awesome.
You know, I saved that story for Matt, and he's not on the show tonight.
Well,
thanks, Matt.
Well, you can take that up with him. You can take Matt's not being on the show tonight up with Mr. Knapp himself.
I just may do that.
I think you should.
Okay.
I think you should have a little sit down. Maybe have a drink.
Face to face.
Yeah.
Man to man.
I think you should drive right down to fucking Oklahoma. Just sit in his living room. Just fucking walk in the house. Don't even knock.
I don't think that's going to go over very well. I'm just saying.
Steve, listen. Listen, you guys are fucking tight. Just walk in.
Yeah.
Bottle of whatever. I don't know what you drink. Water.
Coffee.
I was going to say water.
All I drink is coffee. That is it.
Hey, I think you should just lay it all on the table. Tell him.
When were you on the show?
Tell him you're worried about him.
I kind of am. It's been what, 3 shows now?
I think you should. I think you should.
I know he's a busy guy.
I think you should
get that.
express your concern. You have feelings, Steve.
I get
Let him
that
out.
he's a busy guy. I mean, he's got some little tiny other project he works on, at other times. I get that.
It's okay to cry.
Well, I miss him.
Well, hey.
Come back, Matt.
You know who would not have a problem? Mick West.
Mick West is not a flat earther. In fact, he tries to take those people to task.
See? That's why...
Yep.
See, he wouldn't even entertain the idea of flat earth like you're going to. That's why he's a better human being than you, Steve.
Well,
And a damn...
I bet you he'd still do the test.
And a damn fine investigator. This has been the Fortean Slip, episode 110. The Earth is a Dinner Plate episode. If you like this shit, hit the thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Go to youtube.com/Dred Funn and dredfunn.com. Check out, as always, the Fortean Slip, theforteanslip.com or theforteanslip.blogspot.com. Check out Matt's stuff at bigfootcrossroads.com. And if you'd like, you can check out Steve's stuff at stevestuff.com. I don't know why that fucking cracked me up.
There is no stevestuff.com.
See ya.